watch out for you.
All of your spare electronics should be stored in galvanized steel trash cans with a tight-fitting lid. All you need to do is bundle them up in something to insulate them from the can itself. Just plastic wrap works fine. And seal the lid of that can. You do not need to ground the can to an earth ground. In fact, it's actually worse in the case of EMP to ground it because you're making an unintentional antenna by doing so.
Even a television with a long plug going to the wall can absorb enough EMP incidence, EMP radiation, to fry the television. Now, if you know the war is coming, you ought to unplug and make sure you unplug all of your critical equipment from the grid, coil up the plug so that it's in a tight circle and not laying out long, and then it won't absorb that radiation.
Any of your spare electronics should be stored in those trash cans. And because anything that you currently have hooked up to the grid, if you don't have any warning about EMP, if it arrives without warning, basically everything you have connected to the grid is going to be destroyed.
So there you go, folks. This is the real deal. And it was Benjamin Franklin who said, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Don't let it happen. Be prepared. Be ready.
I began to get into iodine a few years ago because it was helping me and my family so much get healthy and detoxify. I believe our research is conclusive. This is the best iodine out there. And I know this for a fact. Nobody else has got iodine based on these pure crystals, ladies and gentlemen.
For a limited time, experience the ancient power of Survival Shield X2.
I believe our research is conclusive. This is the best iodine out there.
Take advantage of this at InfoWarsLife.com.
And why wearing a Hillary for President t-shirt might get you punched in the face.
They thought it said Hillary for President. He said, I was seconds away from sending my bar back over here to punch you in the face. Since you're wearing a Hillary for Prison shirt, you don't have to buy drinks here. Everything's on the house.
Hillary for President! Hillary's not surging, I tell you that. They're not saying that. They're not saying that. Thank you.
There you have it. Donald Trump endorses Hillary for Prison. Get your Hillary for Prison 2016 t-shirt at the InfoWars store. And on the back, it says, legalize freedom. Show your disapproval of Hillary by buying your t-shirt today.
But what she's done is criminal.
This is an American president. Just add puppet, then vote and repeat every 4 years.
Hey, if you don't know who David Cross is, chances are you will recognize him from his movie and television career as a very funny comedian and actor. Most of us have seen him in TV sitcoms like Arrested Development or Mr. Show. He's made appearances on Modern Family, plus movies like Scary Movie 2. I mean, who can ever forget this scene?
By giving you...
Hey, wait, whoa! Hey, I don't need your help, okay, lady? I can do it myself.
So now you know who I'm talking about. Very funny guy. Most of us here at InfoWars appreciate his work and we like his comedy. And that's why we were all very disappointed to learn that he created a character for his new film, which he wrote and directed. It's called Hits, and you can actually rent the movie online at hitsfilm.com. And in the movie, the main character goes off on a racist rampage during a town hall meeting because he's been brainwashed by Alex Jones.
That
That is quite enough.
And it's because you are taking marching orders from Barack Obama, that socialist nigger in the White House. Yes, you are. You are being bullied by him.
So there you go. The character, in a sudden fit of anger, calls President Barack Obama a socialist N-word. Then he says that the federal government is run by the Jews. And next, he says that it's all true because he heard it on the Alex Jones show. This as he's being escorted out of the building by the police.
All the liberal Jew-run media and their enablers,
Dave,
they are authorizing the corporate elite in this country.
Dave, don't make...
I heard that on Alex Jones, so it's true.
Dave.
I heard it on Alex Jones, so I know it's true.
Remove
You're the fault, Mr. Serta. You will hear me.
Now, David Cross has obviously been out there promoting his film, and in every interview that I've been able to find on the internet, he says that his character, Dave, from the film, is easily influenced by Fox News and the Alex Jones show. Here's a review from seriousfilm.blogspot.com where it says, Hits is about an anti-government crank. Boy, they sure love that word anti-government, don't they? Who's played by Matt Walsh, who becomes a folk hero when his libertarian rants go viral, but who blows it when he lets loose with a racist tirade just as he's captured the spotlight. He goes on to say that his frustration leads him to open the door for the likes of Alex Jones and Sean Hannity to take over his brain. Also, in an interview with the Washington Post, David Cross says that the character is easily influenced. He watches Fox News and listens to Alex Jones. If you look on his desk, he has a book called The Rape of the Taxpayer, ooh, and the Turner Diaries. It's all that libertarian, right-wing, bordering on conspiracy theory stuff. That's what David Cross said in the interview with the Washington Post. That's right, and if you don't support President Barack Obama, that obviously makes you a racist, right? Yeah, I don't think so. Here's Alex Jones from the show yesterday as he called in from vacation to discuss this with David Knight.
It's so hurtful for me being a David Cross fan, watching him on Mr. Show and Portlandia and things over the years. And it is so painful, absolutely painful, to see him, the director and the writer of this film that we're going to be talking about when we come back. They did this because I'm addressing the fact that the so-called liberal establishment are a bunch of warmongering, NSA-loving, power-grabbing, insurance company criminals with Obamacare and the rest of it. You are a bunch of fashionable fops, a bunch of fake, trendy liberals who aren't liberals at all. You're a bunch of totalitarians promoting anti-speech laws and every other form of garbage. You want to run everybody's lives and bully everyone. You're having to resort to lying about people like me that are real liberals compared to propagandists like you.
Well, you can see there that obviously Alex Jones was a fan of David Cross as well. And it's a shame, you know, to see these guys, these liberals in Hollywood, to either distort the truth or have a totally disillusioned view of the liberty movement. I mean, just look at that clip we showed you of the town hall meeting from the movie, for example. Not very realistic, in my opinion, and I have never heard a libertarian use the N-word under any circumstances, much less in front of the city council. But, you know, it got me thinking of the times that I've seen Alex Jones in town hall meetings, and he never acted anything like the character in the film.
I challenge members of this distinguished body to be part of history, to not abstain, to get out on the field in your life, and you'll truly be alive. To not sell out to this corrupt system. You know, I spoke right before Ron Paul just a few weeks ago, right outside Austin. He talked about how his poll numbers just go up and up and up, and the support just gets greater and greater and greater as he resists all of this, and as he says no to this, and as he throws the lobbyist out of his office. The truth is, when the whole world's sold out, you guys are going to get more power out of not going with the system. This thing is in terminal velocity. This thing is falling down around itself, the corruption.
Now that's how it's done right there. And as long as we're talking about city council meetings, I want to show you another example that wasn't scripted by Hollywood. This is from a former Marine Corps colonel who was stationed in Fallujah and trained Iraqi soldiers. And he is warning us all that the Department of Homeland Security is building a domestic army.
What's happening here is we're building a domestic military because it's unlawful or unconstitutional to use American troops on American soil. So what we're doing is we're building a military. And so what we're doing here, and let's not kid about it, we're building a domestic army and we're shrinking the military because the government is afraid of its own citizens. We're building an army over here, and I can't believe that people aren't seeing it. Is everybody blind? That's all. I'll take it.
So as you can see right there, these city council and town hall meetings are often very, very important. After all, it's because of meetings like these that we've been able to successfully remove dangerous water supplies from various towns and communities across the country. I mean, we've got a lot more work to do, but hell, it's a good start. And even if you don't succeed, at least it's on the public record. And it gets people to think about your cause. I mean, it educates people and challenges the council members to do the right thing. And it forces them to make a moral decision as well. And in the process, you can even find out which one of the council members are in bed with corporate interest. I remember back during the fluoride battle here in Austin, Texas, it wasn't the scientists or the medical professionals or the citizens against fluoridated water who acted like fools. No, it was the former mayor of Austin, Texas himself, who not only sided against removing the poisonous toxins from our water supply, but he graciously gave us his middle finger in the process. Classy guy. Once again, reminding us about the character of the onslaught against us. Now, speaking of character, David Cross says that the main character in his film Hits is actually a good and decent man, but who's been influenced by right-wing hate speech and the conservative media. Well, I'd like to think the same thing of David Cross. I mean, deep down, he's probably a decent guy. Sure, shit is funny. I mean, I'd have a beer with him. But unfortunately, he's the one who's been influenced by the left-wing liberal media, not to mention the most corrupt presidential administration in the history of our country. That's right, even more corrupt than Johnson or Nixon or Clinton or even Bush. And I was thinking that, you know, back when George W. was president, do you know that people back then, they used to actually accuse Alex Jones of being a crazy liberal? And now that Obama is in office, he's suddenly become this crazy right-wing extremist. Funny how that works. So enough already with the false left versus right paradigm. Both parties are corrupt to the core. They have been for some time, and, you know, they are controlled. They're bought and paid for by the global banking cartels and the military-industrial complex. So wake up, Mr. Cross. I'm not sure if you're really from Hollywood. I think you, my friend, you are stuck in the Matrix. All right, folks, that's going to do it for tonight's broadcast. The INFOWARS Nightly News will return next week, Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Until then, I hope you all have a blessed weekend, and we'll see you back next week right here, Infowars.com. See ya.
Knockout is back. If you want a product that has 10 known ingredients that naturally get your body to relax, your brain to relax, so you get deep, restful sleep, Knockout's it. InfoWarsLife.com. L-theanine, hops flower extract, lemon balm extract, valerian root extract, chamomile flower extract, L-tryptophan extract, melatonin, and more. All organic, all the natural sources. It's the same price as leading brands of melatonin that are 3 milligrams apiece. It has 3 milligrams, the standard recommended dose for an adult. It's got the GABA, so it would probably cost $50 to take all this as separate pills. It's $19.95. You take one or two of these, and it just is really clean, restful sleep is what the reviews are. It's what I've experienced.
and it just synergistically puts everything in there. InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com, or call 888-253-3139.
You are watching the InfoWars Nightly News, which airs 7 p.m. Central at InfoWarsNews.com. And your support is helping us defend liberty worldwide.